So here there is a question by a student named Siddharth Mehta, class 12, Kota, Rajasthan, and he writes that, sir, as we know, in a circuit containing only a capacitor and a battery, half of the energy of the battery is lost, and we say that it appears as heat. So in which part of the circuit actually this heat goes? That's one question. And then he says that if there is no resistance, even then half the energy is lost. That is said. So these are the questions that why it does not depend on the resistance, and if there is no resistance, what will happen, like that. But that's not the main part of the question. He says that he himself right. For this part, I think the equation of charging is the answer, as the equation suggests the losses and so on and so forth. The actual question is this. And second follow-up question is that when we derive the formula for force acting on dielectric slab when it is pulled in a capacitor, as done in your book using energy conservation, we don't talk about heat losses. How? That is a basic problem, that if we talk of charging of capacitor by an ideal battery, we say that whatever work is done by the battery, half of it goes into heat and half goes into electrostatic energy of the capacitor. But when we talk of dielectric slab going into the capacitor connected to a battery, then battery supplies charges here also, but then we don't talk of heat, and we say that the work done by the person who is holding that dielectric slab and work done by the battery and the increase in electrostatic energy of the capacitor, they will balance, and no heat, no thermal energy is needed. So that is the confusion. In which condition battery supplies the charge to capacitor, and we say that there is a loss in heating. And in which condition we say that no, there is no loss of so that is the thing. So let me talk about this. So let us take the first case where you have a capacitor, and then you connect this capacitor to a battery, and let's say there is a resistance which you can neglect also, and then you connect it to a battery, and here is the battery, and you connect it at a certain time t equal to 0, you can say, and then the charges flow. Now look at this condition. Initially there is no charge on this, so there is no potential difference here. So this potential is same as this potential. When you connect it, just when you connect it, this potential, let's call this potential as 0. Connecting wire, assumed resistance less, so the potential here is 0. And since there is no charge here, potential here is 0. So what you see is on this resistance that this potential is V, the EMF of the battery. This side, this is V, and this is 0. So you have a large potential difference across this resistor. So this is, keep this in mind. So large potential difference or finite potential difference. Finite potential difference drives the current. Okay, drives the current. And if that happens, if you have a potential difference, if you have a current, then heat generated is there, Vi or I square R, like that. So that is it. So heat is generated and that is dissipated. In the second case, you have a capacitor, and in this capacitor you have a dielectric plate which is going in, and it is connected to a battery. It is connected to a battery. Again, you can think of a resistance, or let me put the resistance in that positive side, just like we did in the first case, like that. Right? This can be neglected later. Now, in this condition, there is some charge here, already some charge here, and the potential difference between these two plates is equal to this V. Initially, let's suppose everything is static. So there is no current anywhere. This potential is same as this potential, and same as this potential. This potential is same as this potential. The potential difference here, capital Q divided by the capacitance, and in this configuration should be equal to V, like that. Now when you push this plate little bit and this plate comes here, capacitance increases, new charge comes in. That new charge comes in from the battery, but remember, look at this resistance. This side and this side, the potentials are same. This side potential is V, this side potential is V. And then you are pushing. And in some extra delta Q is coming in. Some delta extra dQ is coming in. So an infinitesimal potential difference only will be resulting here. Capacitance has increased, therefore the potential difference has decreased, and therefore this potential and this potential are slightly different. But if you go for infinitesimal steps, what happens in that dx displacement? The capacitance only marginally increases, and therefore this potential is only infinitesimally smaller than this potential. So the charge flow across this resistor is under negligible potential difference, right? So here negligible potential difference, and under this condition charge flows. So that's the difference. Your charge is flowing, your current is there, but then since the potential difference is almost negligible, and in limit it is zero, therefore you do not have any VI type of thing here, and no heat is dissipated, no heat lost. Okay.